Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about Greenland and what's going on with the United States foreign policy in relation to it. As you know, we have a new president, Donald J. Trump, who are rather returning from the past. And during his first term, he talked about wanting to buy Greenland, and now it has come up again. He even seems more emphatic about it than he was last time. So let's talk about it. Okay, so he states that the United States needs to buy Greenland um, for the purpose of national security, making us safer, making you safer, making me safer, making your family or my family safer with this. I would presume for the future, right? So with this, so the end stated goal is security, and I'd also say power in the region. So with this, of course, we have the North Pole. That's where Santa lives. Here's Greenland, owned by Denmark. Iceland, owned by Denmark. Of course, we have our NATO friend Canada. Down here is our lower 48. There's our current leader written with the orange there. There's the state of Alaska. China's off that way. And of course, we have Russia. We sort of have grumpy Putin here. Denmark and Sweden right here. Poland and Europe is down that way, and UK is down that way. You can see my wonderful map here. So with this, what really matters with all of this is the containment of Russia and China, mainly through shipping lanes. So with this, because climate change is happening, it is a real thing. Now, lots of people can argue why climate change is happening, but nevertheless, it is happening. So with this, more and more, what were unpassable shipping lanes are now opening up for longer and longer periods, and at some point probably will be permanently open year-round, which is great for commerce. It's also used for navies, and then of course with that you'll need a lot of naval security. So the really big kahuna here is our boy Vlad over here, Vladimir Putin. So Russia, as you know, there's been a lot going on with him in Ukraine and stuff like that, right? So with this, you have these lanes. The real lane you really want to pay attention to is the one down here. This goes away. That can go all the way down to the lower 48 easily. Russia really wants a shipping lane that's open that way right now. Now over here, China is also concerned. That relationship's a little different. Of course, we want to secure that as well, or keep it secured. Okay, so our current security framework right now is NATO, North American Treaty Organization. That is, a lot of countries in Europe, Canada, so us, and part of NATO, Greenland, because Denmark's part of NATO, and Iceland, the UK, and then farther down Germany and other countries, stuff like that. So with this, again, Trump stated desires have it be secure, but why couldn't that security be accomplished through NATO? In fact, it already is accomplished through NATO. That security system is already set to patrol these lanes. Now, you can make the argument, oh, we need to have further security because of these new lanes opening up. Russia might get more aggressive, or China might get more aggressive. Fair point. That's a good point. Okay, with this, why not work within the NATO framework to further bolster naval presence and naval agreements in that area? Work collaboratively, my friends. That's what NATO is about. We work for each other's protection. That framework is already there. We can build upon what's already there and bolster. Maybe we put another base up here. Maybe we put a naval base, somewhere up here. And with good relations with Denmark, we, as in the U.S., may very well could do that. And hey, maybe Canada wants to get involved as well by having a joint naval operation or something. Okay, so Trump, using the NATO framework, Trump's line of argument doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense. So what's his true intention? His true intention is, well, back this up a little bit. Think about how Trump operates, right? He is, for lack of a better word, a scared little boy at the end of the day. He realizes he has a huge gaping emotional hole. He always wants it filled. He needs adoration. He wants people to think he's great. He wants to do big things to make himself look good. But it's a hole that's endless. It's a bottomless pit. And that's sad for him. It's a really difficult way to live. Unfortunately, he hasn't handled it so great, and he's inflicting a lot of uh, difficult things upon us U.S. citizens, and in the past and possibly moving forward. So, with this, he wants to fill that hole ultimately. And then there's several layers to fill that hole. It's like, oh, if I get Greenland, oh, then people will think I'm great because I expanded the country, which is imperialism. Oh, they'll think I'm so awesome. And then people will adore me. They think I'll do something no other president did in a long time. And that I'll be in the history books forever. It's literally he's trying to fill that hole. So you really need to think about that. The other really big thing too is the money, right? So, and our military. So with this, what would it cost to buy Greenland? Keep in mind, Greenland has been with Denmark for 800 years. What would it cost to buy? Now, I heard another YouTube channel. I think the person was just doing it for the sake of argument. They were floating 29 trillion to buy it. That's a lot of money. And you think about our current national debt right now. I'm a little rusty on what the exact amount is. I think it's about 15 trillion. So think about, so say just for the sake of argument, maybe we get a bargain. Maybe we get a bargain buying Greenland and we get it for 5 trillion, right? Think about what that would do to our debt, number one. And then number two, integrating another territory or state into the United States would be extremely difficult. Think about what happened when East and West Germany tried to combine it. That cost a fuck ton of money. And with this, not to mention Greenlanders, especially with the result with what's been going on lately and how belligerent Trump's been being, they wouldn't take kindly to this. So there would be social issues. Think about it more practical. They would lose their universal health care and get our shitty U.S. health care, which is bad. So, like, there's real no upside for that at all. So, really, what this is all really about is Trump's legacy and filling his ego because he wants to feel good. He wants to look like a tough guy. So, that's my take on Greenland. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but he will do a lot of bluster around it. With this bluster, there's nothing you want to think about. Trump is very smart in some ways, sadly for not constructive reasons, but he's very smart in some ways of just like throwing out a bunch of shit. To Greenland, Panama, Canada, 51st state, DEI, like throwing out all this stuff just to really rile people up and get them pissed off. Don't pay attention to what he says. Look at what he and his cronies are doing behind the scenes, right? Because that's what really matters. Listen to some words that he says because he will have kernels of truth about his intent, but nevertheless, really watch behind the scenes because he's a master at getting people distracted. And then he and his team go off and do things that aren't good for the American people. So that's my take on Greenland and how to think about it, and especially when you're watching the administration talk about it and where that could go or hopefully not go. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.